Every time you are trying to push past one of your limiting beliefs, every time you're trying to expand your life and to grow, your mind is going to try to stop you. Your mind is going to try to give you all of these reasons wrapped up in logic of why you shouldn't be moving forward. Hi YouTube fam, welcome to a new video. In this week's video, I wanted to experiment with sprinkling in some vlog style content of the last couple days of my life. I went on a fall hike. I went on an awesome date night, just a couple things behind the scenes that I was experiencing in my own life. Wanted to share that with you so that you can hopefully get to know me a little bit better on a personal level. And of course, still incorporating the conversations that we usually have on this channel about mindfulness, spirituality, and personal development. So let me know what you think about this new style of video. Please make sure to subscribe if you're new here. It really helps this channel out. And let's get on with it. It is Friday, October 2nd, and today is, I love Fridays. Even though I'm no longer working a 9-to-5 job, Monday to Friday, I still love Fridays. Fridays feel so good. Today I am doing a lot of just organization, planning, getting things kind of in order for the next month. Later today, we're gonna go on a date night to one of my absolute favorite restaurants in the entire world. I just got so much food. Super excited.
One of the best restaurants, hands down, like up there, top 5 pie.
If you ever come to Toronto, you have to eat here. It is the best. So I spent a lot of time yesterday journaling and really getting out everything that I had been sort of holding on to. All the stories, all the fear, all the judgment, all the criticism, the ways that my mind and my ego were inventing this sort of false reality and bringing me emotionally down. I put all of that on paper, and I really spent some time getting clear about how I want to, first of all, rewrite those stories that weren't serving me, and also very much getting clear about what I want to call in for this month and what I am celebrating from this past month. Because oftentimes when we're sort of in that space of feeling down, of feeling heavy, of feeling sad, of feeling off, we forget all of the amazing things that have happened in our lives over that period of time. And so it felt really, really good to sort of tap back into my gratitude, to tap back into my joy and my celebration. I am feeling just so much better today. I'm feeling more positive, more light, more myself, and it feels really, really good. So yeah, I'll put those journaling prompts somewhere in this video if that's helpful. And if you feel inspired to maybe do them for yourself, and we'll get on with the day. One of the topics that I really have been wanting to talk to you about is how to follow your intuition. In today's world, it is so dense. We are so bombarded with news, with other people's beliefs, with other people's opinions, and oftentimes we're also receiving opinions about how we should be living our own lives, whether that's from our friends and family or just society's expectations of what it means to be successful and what it means to be productive. And all of these ideas that we have been fed from such a young age about how we should carve out and live our lives. You might find yourself at a point where you realize, am I even on my path? Am I even living my life in accordance with my own true values, beliefs, and the way that I want to show up in the world? Or am I living my life based off some preconceived notion that I've been taught and sort of fed from society, from my parents, my upbringing, the values that have been ingrained in me? Finding our own internal compass is absolutely imperative right now. Because there is so much going on energetically in the world, there is so much division, there's so much debate, there's so much polarization. And so it is so important to ground yourself back and to really anchor into your own truth. And to, instead of asking everyone else outside of you and looking for advice outside of yourself on how you should live your life, to really start to trust your own intuition. Following your intuition can be confusing at times because we haven't been taught how to follow our intuition, how to listen to our heart's guidance. We haven't been taught these things really at all, unless you are already in a spiritual community, or maybe you have parents that kind of taught you spiritual practices as you were growing up. But for the most part, I mean, in our education system, in terms of what is normal and in terms of what is accepted in the world, it's a very mind-based, masculine, linear sort of ideology that we're fed. And we're not taught how to listen to our hearts. We're not taught how to follow our intuition. We're not taught what our own soul's unique gifts and purposes are. We're not taught these things. And then we go through life sort of following this path that was laid out to us, this framework for success that was laid out for us from society, from our parents. And undoubtedly, most of the time, this path is not ours to live. And so at one point or another, most likely in your adulthood, you reach a point where you realize, I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled. And so we are asked at that moment to unlearn a lot of what we have been taught and to actually learn what it means to follow our heart and to follow our intuition and to follow our soul into finding that sense of fulfillment and purpose that is unique to each and every one of us. So the reason why it can be so difficult when you're first kind of getting acquainted with following and listening to your intuition is because the way that it feels and the way that it looks is so different from the mind. The mind wants a plan, it wants goals, it wants direction, it wants a concrete direction, it wants to know what steps to take to move forward. And of course, this is very important energy. Once we are clear about what our intuitive gifts are, what our intuition is telling us in terms of how to move forward in our lives, it is important then to implement that masculine energy, that goal-driven direction in order to take tangible steps forward. But before we start taking that mind-based action, we want to touch base with our heart. We want to touch base with our intuition to first get clarity about what is true for us, what is in alignment for us, what is purposeful for us, and then to take steps forward. Your intuition, your heart, is very feeling oriented. It is concerned only about the present moment, what is happening right now. It doesn't operate on a linear timeline. Your heart, your intuition is here right now in every moment, guiding you and giving you cues and signals about whether you are in alignment or whether you are off course. Your intuition and your heart communicates not only through these sort of gut feelings within your body, but it's constantly sending signals to your body. So when you're in a situation, you might notice yourself, if you really slow down and pay attention and get really present about your physical body, you'll start to notice in certain moments when you're feeling really tense, when you're feeling tight, when you're clenching onto something, or when you're feeling uncomfortable and your body kind of constricts. And on the other hand, you'll definitely notice moments when you're really excited about something, when a new opportunity is in front of you that feels really good to you. You feel this lightness, you feel this expansiveness, you feel a flow through your body, you feel openness in your body. And these are the communication cues of your intuition, of your heart, of your soul. And a lot of the time, when there's dissonance between our intuition and our mind, we are conditioned to listen to the mind. Every time you are trying to push past one of your limiting beliefs, every time you're trying to expand your life and to grow, your mind is going to try to stop you. Your mind is going to try to give you all of these reasons wrapped up in logic of why you shouldn't be moving forward. It will tell you that people are going to make fun of you, that they're going to judge you. It's going to tell you that you're not going to have enough money. It's going to tell you that you're not going to be safe or secure. And that is the moment that we get to make a choice. Do I want to keep following my mind, following my fear, following my ego, and living my life based on that trajectory? Or do I want to start learning what it means to follow my intuition, to follow my heart, to follow my soul, to follow what feels good, and try that route? And know that if you're new to the path of following your intuition, of following your heart, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel stretchy. It's going to feel foreign. And every time you are following your intuition, again, your mind is going to, and your ego are going to start creating these stories because they don't know what the plan is. Like I mentioned before, your mind loves operating based off a linear, predictable plan. And when you're following your intuition, like I mentioned, your heart only operates in the present moment. It's not thinking about you 20 years from now or you 15 years ago. It only cares about you right now. It is speaking the language of the present moment, and it is your job to follow the cues of the present moment to bring you into alignment with your dharma, with your truth. So when you're doing that, when you're following your heart and you don't know what the future is going to look like, how it's going to unfold, your ego is going to freak out. But you now have awareness of how your mind is going to operate when you start following your intuition, and you can tell your ego, thank you. Always thank your ego. We get to thank her for looking out for us. We get to thank her for wanting to protect us. We get to thank her for looking out for us. But we also get to tell her that she gets to take a break right now. She gets to go and have a little siesta. She's not needed right now, so thank you, ego. And you get to go on your way and actually take action in alignment with what your intuition and what your heart is telling you. And what you'll notice is that the minute that you start showing up and actually living your life, following your intuitive guidance, following your heart, you'll take that one step and it'll lead you to the next and to the next and to the next. And you will slowly veer your life and yourself back into alignment with your truth, with your dharma, with your purpose, with your joy, with your ease, with your abundance, with your flow. And I mean, it's a journey to get there. There's a lot of limiting beliefs, fears that you need to work through, but it starts with taking that first step. It starts with following your intuition and your inner knowing, and to actually respect the cues that your body is giving you and to follow through with them. I really hope that you found this helpful in terms of how you can start listening to your intuition and how to differentiate between your intuition and your mind, and how to really work through the limiting beliefs and the fears that will come up when you are following your heart.
Keep dancing with the devil, baby, there's a lot of